Hi, it's Tim at Matchbox Customs and Rest Shows. Let's talk about tools. First thing I'm going to talk about is my drilling out tapping set. 1/64 scale lifestyle. They're on the net. I believe that's .com. They're not sponsoring me or anything, but I just want to give them a shout out because I do buy a lot of their stuff. They've got a kit where you get the drill bits. This is the small one that you drill down through that you'll use this with. This is the 256 tap, and I took the handle off of it because usually it was just getting in the way, and I usually go like this. So I put heat shrink on this here, so this way I had a depth guide. That's about as far as you can go on most die cast without going through the hood or the trunk or anything else. So that's what you want to do for that. This is the drill bit you get, and it takes the heads off. You might have to wiggle it around a little bit. That's fine. You see it when I do the videos. It works, so I have no problem with that. There's also a set that KD that does the HO scale couplers for the HO scale trains. They also have a kit that has the tap and the drill bit and everything. But also when I do the tapping, this is 3-in-1 oil. I usually dip this in there and then I start tapping, because you sure don't want to break that tap off. I've done it once, got lucky, and I was able to get the tap out because part of it was still up through there, so I was able to grab with a pair of needle nose pliers. Trying to find my 3-in-1 oil. Okay, here it is. I was able to grab the rest of the tap and pull it out, run it back out. So I got lucky there. This is the 3-in-1 oil that's in here that I use. Also, when I clean this out, I dip it back in there and it cleans all the stuff, all the metal and everything out of there. So that's a good thing to do. They give you in the kit, I think there's 20 of these little button head screws, and then you get this, which is a I don't know, a .050 hex head, and you just, once you got your stuff tapped out, there you go. So that's how that works. So I keep all this stuff in one convenient spot, so this way I don't lose it. I know where it's at. Drills bits stay in the drills. Another thing I do use, these are 256 laptop screws. They're the same length, they're same thread, they're 256, so you can also use these. And as soon as I figure out which one of these, I put the screw head, there they are. So you can put these in there and that'll hold your bottom just as well. So if you've got an old laptop laying around, it's got these screws in it, then there you go. You've got yourself another cheap alternative to your screws. But 1/64 lifestyle, those guys I do a lot of business with. I get a lot of things from them. They do have sporadic online off times around holidays and stuff. They go offline, and they leave a message up stating when they'll be back. So files, I use different ones. I've got, you know, several different ones that I use. If I know where okay, I put them all up here. So we have a small set and a large set. Definitely got to have them, because you have these spots where you got to get into, you know, all different shapes and sizes. You want triangles, you want round files, you want flat files, you want finer, coarser. I bought these thinking that these were this size, but once I got them, I'm glad I got them, because they have really come in handy 1,000 times. So I'm glad I got them. I've had the handle for a while. I'm not sure where I got the handle from, but I did get the files from eBay. And as you can see up here, that is where I keep all my files and everything. So you can just swap them out into the file handle, and there you go. You always want to have at least something magnetic to retrieve things. This is, I think it was a Matco screwdriver. It also helps me pry open the bases and stuff on these once I drill them out. Plus an extendable. You always got a screw or an axle or something that'll get away, and it's just easier to be able to extend it. You got dental picks. Definitely want them. You always want, I can't remember what they call this handle, but it's for these finer drill bits and everything. You want to be able to have for these when you do get your Dremel tool, whether it's electric or battery. I use the battery a lot. You want to change this chuck out, speed chuck, because most of them, the original chuck will not go down to anything that small. And if you need to use a drill bit that's that small, the original chuck that's in there will not fit it. Plus, it's so much nicer, you don't have to change the color every time if the shank is smaller, like this. You got two different sizes here, as you can see. It's just easier to be able to take it in and out. You don't have to change the color on the inside, which is, I don't know where I put my color chucks at. No, I don't know where they're at the moment, but and that's because I don't use them. They just basically sit wherever, and because since I don't use them, I just kind of put them to the side. But I do have them just in case I ever want to get rid of one of my Dremel tools or something. Another thing that has turned out to be very handy. Let me see if I can get some of this stuff moved out of the way. This is an actual Dremel model 220. I don't know exactly what they call it, but this is the 220. It's like a workstation. I got my model 3000 Dremel Dremel in it, but it's a great little item to have. You need a stationary place to put a brush on to grind anything. To drill, you need a drill press. There you go. And I know I've got some of my tools and stuff hanging up on top here. That's where you hang one of them handy things where you can use like this. Sorry, I can't remember what the name of it is, but you can correct me down in the comments. And it's always good to have. And my bench is a mess, but it's always good to have some kind of storage system for all your tools and stuff. It's great. Some of the things that I like to use is these pens, and unfortunately I probably use more of putting them in, getting some of the paint out than using a brush, because a lot of times these tips just they just put out too much paint. When you need too much paint, that's great, but when you don't need it, you don't need it. Another thing, when you're getting these green light wheels, you need something to mix paint, store wheels, or when you're taking a car apart or something. Great for that. When you're wanting to dab the paint out of one of the paint pens, you got places to mix paint here and everything. Hey, that's a cheap alternative. You don't have to throw these things out. Sanding sticks, sanding boards. They're cheap, they're inexpensive. Buy them. You'll love them. You also have these. Comes in several different grits. Then little fine points can get into everything. Keep a whole selection of Dremel pieces, brushes, drill bits, grinders, cutters. You're always going to need them. You're always going to need these, sprue cutters, especially if you do more plastic models. Get different super glues. If you want the quick set, make sure you get some Insta Set. I use a lot of JB Weld products. You definitely want to have a liquid mask around when you're painting and stuff. Lots of different glues. Always make sure you have lots of different glues, because there's different glues for different applications. There's just so much around you do in polishing. Here's glue for windshields. You sure don't want to drip super glue on that. Then you got your micro saw and micro set, especially if you're doing any decals. You definitely want this stuff around. Learn how to use it, because you're going to need it. Toothpicks, need them. Especially putting glue in, putting paint in certain places. Polishing compound, this is for headlights, getting them headlights unyellowed and everything. This is great stuff. Use that with the Dremel tool or a rag or anything. It always comes out great. When you got bent parts, hey, it's always good to have these around. Flat tip. And you want to take a small hammer. Small. You want to tap. You don't want to. You want to tap. You want ball peens this way. If you have to actually hit the car itself in the middle places, you want to tap. You don't want to slam it. Even other bigger hammers, for a little more tap. Heat. You want heat. You want plenty of heat. You want heat to do your heating of the metal if it's not going to bend right. Digital caliper. Always great when you're doing something that you need to see the thickness of an axle, of styrene, anything. But anyways, I'm going to stop right there. I can go on probably for another hour or so. But anyways, give me a like. You know, share it. If you don't like it, you know what to do. Leave a comment. And we will talk to you on the next video. Bye.